Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear guys, here we are going to talk about the first topic of week 1 of the first week, our course, Professional and Business Ethics. And this time, today we are going to talk about why ethics matter. Why is ethics important for our professional life, or our personal life, and also for the business. So please pay your attention to the next slide to cope the material, to get the understanding of this material. And also don't forget to download the book to read chapter 1, and because I prepared this presentation based on chapter 1 of our reference book. Okay, let's get it on. So we are going to talk 3 subtopics from this chapter. First, being a professional integrity, being a professional with full commitment to ethics, and we're gonna talk about balancing ethics and profitability, and the last we will discuss about whether we should use a single ethical standard or multiple ethical standards. So these three are the outline of this chapter. Okay, so the first part is being a professional integrity, being a professional with commitment to ethics. And by the end of this section, you will be able to describe the role of ethics in a business environment. Why do we have to focus, we have to consider ethics in our professional activity or in our daily activity. Ethics are very important, and explain what it means to be a professional of integrity. And you have to be able to distinguish between ethical and legal responsibilities. Sometimes we mix up these two concepts. And then we have to be able to describe 3 approaches for examining the ethical nature of a decision. So how do we make an ethical decision? What is the standard? What is the reference that we have to consider? So we have we face some challenging fact in our professional life, like some accounting firms got sanction from the authority, like EY had to pay more than 13 billion rupiah in US, and also some audit partner in EY were get sanctioned from this authority. And also we face some issues in some public project and also in a private company. So there are many issues related to ethics that challenge us today, and that's why we have to consider what happened with this, what happened with ethics. Why do people don't care with ethics? So until now we have to consider that, we have to think about that. So first of all, we have to understand what is ethics. What is ethics? This is very important to understand, to get a clear picture about ethics. So ethics is actually standard of behavior. That is the key word. That is the key word. Ethics is the standard of behavior to which we hold ourselves in our personal and professional lives. So in our personal lives, we use ethics. We use this standard of behavior to interact with family, with friends, with others, with people surrounding us. And in our personal lives, we use ethics, we use this standard of behavior to interact with customers, clients, suppliers, colleagues, employees, and shareholders affected by our business practices. So we have to consider ethics as a standard of behavior, a standard of behavior. And we use that standard in interacting with other people, with people surrounding us. That's the key word of ethics, standard of behavior. Okay then, what is being a professional of integrity? You know, being a professional means be a person that do the job in accordance to the job standard or to the professional standard related to the job. So being a professional is not enough. To be a professional without integrity is nothing. You know, you do your job good, you respect your boss is good, is fine, but without integrity is nothing, because you will commit unethical behavior or maybe some unlawful behavior, and this is not good for your future, for your job. So being a professional is not enough. You have to be a person that has a full commitment to ethics, because business ethics guides the conduct by which companies and their agents abide by the law and respect the right of their stakeholders, particularly their customer, clients, employee, and surrounding community and environment. Uh, so as you can see from the picture, company is in the central is a center of this relationship, and company has a relationship with environment, community, competitors, client, and so on. And there is no way to treat the stakeholders without ethics. So you have to consider the ethics to guide the company, to guide your personal or your professional life, to interact with this community, with these stakeholders surrounding you. And then which one is more important, law or ethics? Because many people confuse legal and ethical compliance. Behaving ethically actually requires that we meet the mandatory standard of the law, but that is not enough. So if I draw a line here, for instance, this is the law, ethics is above the law. So behaving or conducting business in accordance to the law itself is not enough for human interaction. For example, smiling is not regulated under the law. However, don't say that I don't want to smile because there is no law requires me or asks me to smile to others. Then people will see you as a sick, as a psycho, as a psychopath, because you don't want to smile to others. Smile is in accordance with ethics. However, although smiling is not regulated, is not mandatory by the law. So behaving ethically means you behave good above the law. And companies today need to be focused not only on complying with the letter of the law, but also on going above or beyond the law beyond the basic mandatory requirement to consider their stakeholders and do what is right. What is right, what is wrong is defined by the law. But what is good, what is better, what is not good, defined by the ethics. And we have to consider ethics in doing our professional or our personal life. Like my examples, smiling is not regulated under the law, but you cannot say that you don't want to smile because there is no law regulate smiling. Because smiling is part of human interaction. Smiling is part of human needs. We are a social being. We need others. And in interacting with others, we don't consider the law at all. I mean, consider the law per se, but we have to consider ethics, our standard behaviors that applied in certain community. So then how should we behave? Which one that we are going to follow? Which standard that we are going to follow? So according to the theory, there are three approaches in deciding or in choosing which behavior is ethical or not. First, by examining the consequences. According to a theory called utilitarianism, this theory suggests that an ethical action is one whose consequence achieves the greatest goods for the greatest number of people. It means that something ethical is something that produces good for greatest number of people. This is very good approach. Some behavior or some actions that produce something good, then it is ethical, as simple as that. The second approach is proposed by deontology. Deontology theory suggests that what is good is what is proposed, what is prescribed by your duty, the means, the facility, the way that you do, the way that you commit. Because something ethical is the means that lend nobility to the ends. So the means that produce the best or the greatest good in the end. What is ethical is what is considered as an ethical is an activity that as a mean, as a facility, as a, what you call in bahasa as a sarana or as a way, sebagai suatu cara that lend nobility to the ends. In short, deontology suggests that something good is do your duty, act on the basis of the core principle. However, we cannot use these two as a separate standard. Which one do you want to use should consider the context of the behavior. In short, I want to say the way itself will not determine whether your purpose or your let's say your activity or your behavior, your conduct is good or not. And the objective itself will not determine your activity or your behavior or your conduct is good or is ethical or not. For example, Robin Hood. Robin Hood is ethical according to utilitarianism because Robin Hood provides greatest good for the greatest number of people, right? But according to deontology, Robin Hood is unethical because Robin Hood doing something illegal, something bad for the community by robbing or by doing a thief, right? So this two theory is in the contrary each other. However, we can move to the next theory that we call as virtue theory. According to virtue theory, our ethical analysis of a decision is intimately connected with the development of habits. So your heart, your education, your spiritual life, your religion, your culture will determine which one is ethical and which one is not ethical, will determine the ethical standard. By following your heart, by following your virtue, by following your religion or your culture, you will have or you will comply the standard, the behavior standard or the ethical standard. For example, in Islam, the religion that I follow, doing good is not enough. I mean, if you have a good objective, it's not enough. Good objective should be achieved by good means. Positive objective should be achieved, should be gotten by good means or good way. Jadi tujuan yang baik harus dicapai dengan cara yang baik. So utilitarianism itself is not enough. Deontology itself is not enough. We have to, for me, I follow this virtue theory. I follow the religion that or the culture or the value that I got from my childhood education, which one is good, which one is not, to understand, to have this ethical standard. Okay, the next section is about ethics and profitability, how we balance the ethics and profitability. It's very important for us. By the end of this section, you will be able to differentiate between short-term and long-term perspective of profit. And then you have to be able to differentiate between stockholders and stakeholders. These two are different. And discuss the relationship among ethical behavior, goodwill, and profit. And you have to be able to explain the concept of corporate social responsibility. Okay, profit. Profit is the main goal that company or business should achieve. And profit become the standard of success. So successful company or successful business is the business that provide good, that provide higher profit. However, we have to think the profit from long-term perspective instead of from short-term perspective. Because company enters a social contract with society as a whole. And there is an implicit agreement among all members to cooperate for social benefits. So the company and the business and the community and also the stakeholders actually has an implicit agreement. For example, a company produces a product that beneficial for the society. In return, society will provide revenue for the company. Customer, right? Supplier needs company. And company needs a good raw material in producing the product. That's why a company buy the product from the supplier, and supplier provide the best product for the company. So everyone in the community, in the social network, has to follow the implicit agreement among them. A company pursues the maximizing of stockholders' profit. That's unquestionable, because the operation of the company should provide best profit to the shareholders, to the guy that provide capital. Okay. However, in return for society's permission to incorporate and engage in business, a company owes a reciprocal obligation by benefiting the community, because the community in which company operates has give permission for the business to operate, for the business to incorporate and doing business. The society provide workforce, the society provide customer, the society provide energy or resources to the company. Then company use that resources to create profit. So in return, business or company should provide benefit to the society. So that's why this is said that company owes a reciprocal obligation by benefiting the company. A long-term perspective of profit is more balanced view of profit maximization that recognizes that the impact of a business may not manifest for a longer time. We don't know whether the operation of a business has a positive or negative impact to the society until a long term, until some years. We cannot judge whether this company doing good or doing bad for the society in just 1 year. That's why a business should consider this long-term perspective of a business, to a long-term perspective of profit, to anticipate if there is something bad in the future that company does not realize in advance. So if company try to get short-term profit, they will do everything. Although this is illegal, for example, to record a good profit. However, recording good profit is not enough, because when you try everything to record good profit in short term, we believe you sacrifice something important for your future. For example, you sacrifice your integrity, you sacrifice your workforce, or you use the resources too much, then nothing left in the future. So long-term perspective of profit will push the company to consider ethics for more serious level. Three elements that involved in talking long-term profit view: stockholders, stakeholders, and goodwill. We know that stakeholders are all the individuals and group affected by a business decisions. You can name many individual or group that consider as stakeholders, from management itself, supplier, customer, society, government, and so on. And among these stakeholders, there are stockholders, individuals or institutions that provide capital to the business. the positive feeling of stakeholders, the positive feeling stakeholders have for any particular company is called goodwill. So if the company doing good, if the company consider the business ethic, if the company treat all the stakeholders very well in accordance to the ethics, then many stakeholders will have positive feeling to the company. The customer will have positive feeling, the worker, the supplier have positive feeling to the company. And we call this as a goodwill. So if you learn advanced accounting, you can see that a goodwill is the excess from the cost of acquisition. For example, if the value of the company is 100, then investor want to acquire this business by paying like 120. So this 20 extra is called goodwill. And this goodwill is nothing to do, is not directly attributable to the company's asset and liabilities. Positive feeling from the stakeholders, it can be the worth of a business reputation. The business has very good, very clean reputation. The business has a reputation as a clean company, as a environmental friendly company, for example. Or it can be the value of its brand name, the intellectual capital it has, or the attitude of its workforce, the loyalty of its established customer base, and so on. So the positive feeling of the stakeholders has to be maintained by treating them very good, treating them in accordance to the ethical standard. And let's talk briefly about this introduction, this corporate social responsibility, or CSR. So CSR is actually the practice by which a business views itself within a broader context as a member of society with certain implicit social obligations and environmental responsibilities. So in CSR, business is not isolated from the environment, from the society surrounding. Business is part of the environment. Business is part of the social system surrounding it. So that's why, because business is a member of the society, then business should contribute something to the society. And also business has the right to get something from the society. That's fair. That is the view of CSR. So CSR places all stakeholders within a proper contextual framework. The business itself want to grow, want to get maximum profit, maximum value, okay. Then society provide the revenue, society provide the resources, okay. And in return, business provide product and also provide social benefit for the society. What I call with society includes customer, supplier, all stakeholders surrounding this business, this company. Okay, and the last part of this chapter is actually a talk about multiple or versus single ethical standard, because sometimes we are confusing which standard that we are going to follow. Do we have to follow a single ethical standard or multiple ethical standards. According to a philosophy called ethical relativism, a philosophy according to which there is no right or wrong, and what is ethical depends solely on the context. So according to ethical relativism, something called ethical or not depends on the context where the behavior occurred, where this action conducted. So if we follow this ethical relativism, we will stop in confusing. So which ethical standard that we are going to follow? However, we have clear recommendation here. Business leaders, a professional, are not limited to only one of the ethical standard. Okay, so you have to use multiple ethical standard in which, so in where you are going to operate or where you are going to live, then in there you have to follow the ethical standard. In bahasa we call di mana bumi dipijak, di sana langit dijunjung. Okay, but then we become a person with multiple ethical standard, and sometimes it quite difficult for us to act in a context. So in a context we can choose wrong ethical standard. Pada satu konteks kita bisa saja salah memilih standar etika. However, there is a rule here. What should not change is a corporate commitment, is individual commitment, is a professional commitment to not make exceptions in its practices when those favor the company at the expense of customer, clients, or other stakeholders. So this is the rule. Don't make other people suffer with your action, with your decision, with your behavior. That's it, the rule. You can do, you can practice multiple ethical standards. It's fine. However, don't make other people suffer by your behavior, by your decision. So according to my religion, according to Prophet Muhammad, he said that the best man is the one that best beneficial for the human beings. The best man is the man that provides best benefit for the society, for the human beings. And second, Prophet Muhammad also said, people with faith is people that others save from his hand and his mouth. So these two standards become mine and probably some of you become a standard for me and for you, how to be a professional of integrity by providing best benefit for the society, and also by protecting ourselves, doing something harm, doing something bad for the society. That's it, the standard. And we cannot avoid to talk about religion in talking ethics. All of us believe in God and religion. We believe in God and religion. We also believe life after death. or the day of judgment, in which mankind will be rewarded or will be punished because of their behavior in the world. So by believing in God and in the day of judgment, we will be guided to not harming people, to not doing bad for people. And according to the philosopher, there are two elements or two dimensions of religiosity. First is intrinsic religiosity. Here, people with religion see this religion as a master motive. They have spirituality of religion. They try their best to follow their religion. They love their religion. They set this religion as a standard value, as a standard of behavior, and they try to behave as religion prescribed. And the second dimension is extrinsic religiosity. So according to extrinsic religiosity, people with religion do their religion only for social status, only for friendship, only for to be looked as a good man in the society. But himself or herself does not have awareness whether they are behaving in accordance to the religion or not. And researchers confirm that intrinsic religiosity has a positive impact in improving ethical judgment, in improving ethical behavior, meaning that people with religion and they have spiritual aspect of this religion. They have spirit to implement the religion. They have faith and spirit to follow the religion as good as possible. They become more ethical in the society. And also a loving view of God will also guide these people with faith to behave more ethically than others. So, however, extrinsic religiosity does not associate with ethical behavior improvement, meaning that people with religion, but they do their religion for the sake of others rather than the sake of God. They are what I call they are hypocrite, and they don't have enough motivation to do something ethical in accordance to the religion, because what they want is just social status. Okay, and this finding is proposed by some researcher in 2012 and 2005. So this is empirical research, and it shows to us that become religious people, I mean intrinsic religiosity, will guide us as a people, as a man with full integrity, with full commitment to the goodness. So if you see the many corruption cases in Indonesia done by people with religion, let's say, why do these people why did these people do this very bad illegal corruption. From this perspective, I would say that their religiosity is only extrinsic religiosity. However, inside their heart, there is no religion. They don't have intrinsic religiosity. Okay, next, let's conclude this talk. Why is ethics matter? Why is ethics important for our professional and our personal life? Because first, from religious perspective, behaving ethically will satisfy the God we love and serve. So no question, no debate for this. If you believe in God, if you love your God, you do goodness because you want to satisfy the God you love. From social perspective, we do ethically, we do, we concern with ethics, we follow the ethic because we want to live in harmony with others, and we want to have trust from others. If not, then there will be social problem because you break the rules of the society, right? From perspective of economic or business perspective, we do this. We concern with ethics. Ethics is important because living in harmony with others will provide social capital, which is trust from the society. And this is very important to create value or to create profit. So how can you create profit if customers don't have trust to the company? How will you create profit if suppliers cannot give their trust to you? How will you live in harmony with society if you do something harm for the society? It's impossible. So social capital, social trust is very important to create value. And of course, a business has to avoid unnecessary costs from social class. So without this unnecessary action, demonstration from the society, or class action from the society, I think these are unnecessary. So avoiding this class action or this demonstration and so on can be done by we can avoid this problem by following the ethical standard. I think that's all for today, and there are 4 videos, very good videos that you can watch for your self-study. So please watch this video for your self-study, and we gonna meet and talk after you watch this video. And then if you have any question, just feel free to ask me to discuss in the class soon in Zoom. Thanks and all the best for you. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.